Bev, can you tell me what are your instant memories when you think of Dolly Parton?
Well, you see, as I was growing up, and Dolly Parton was around for many, many years, having passed away at 80. But when I was growing up, there was just something about her. I remember seeing her on the telly, this blonde woman with big hair, just look in red and just looking so glammy. And she had such a big smile and a beautiful voice. And I used to listen to her. I would get, cassette tapes at the time. I know, what can I say? And in fact, she was probably the first ever album that I listened to on my cassette tape. And I was a bit obsessed with her as a kid. And I didn't know why, but I just thought I just loved her. And I
And
still do.
did you have the opportunity to interview Dolly Parton at all?
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant because, I've always sort of sung her songs and done all that kind of thing. But I realized that one of the PRs that I knew in the industry was representing her. And I said to him, look, if there is ever an opportunity, and I thought that the chances were narrow because, don't get me wrong, I've interviewed a lot of great and incredible stars, but you never take it for granted. And I thought, she's so huge and she's Dolly, will she ever get the chance, the time, the inclination to chat with me? And he said, look, I'll try and organize it for you. And I missed a particular tour. And then I think it was around 2014 that he actually came back to me and he said, I've got you, Dolly. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't
Yeah.
actually believe it. And he said, look, we'll do an interview on the phone. And I thought, okay, so, I'm not going to meet her, but we're going to get a chance to chat. And what a chat that was. And actually, I did get a chance to meet her after it, but what a chat it was because, I went on the phone and I'm normally quite confident when I speak with celebrities. I think, everybody's born the same. We die the same. What happens in between is quite interesting. But I was probably quite sheepish and I went, hello, Dolly. And she went, well, hi there, Beverly. And I went, it's fantastic to speak with you. And she went, well, you sound like you really mean that. And I thought, I do. I
What a
absolutely
great
do.
start. Yeah.
And, I absolutely lapped up every bit of that conversation. And we chatted about Scotland and how Dolly the sheep was named after her. And she made a joke and she said, she's got memories, And we just had a real laugh about Scotsmen and what they had under their kilts and
Do you think
just
Dolly had a good relationship with Scotland because she'd been coming here since the 70s?
yeah, do you know what? She loved the Scots, and she was a people person. She loved everywhere. She could have gone anywhere, and she'd have loved it because she was really. I mean, as I say, I've met so many people, but when it comes to people that are down to earth and that remain the same, and it wasn't an act. She was kind. She was full-hearted. You've probably read she could have been a billionaire if she'd have kept the fortunes, but she didn't. She gave it out. She helped all these kids around the world to read, to educate them. She was so benevolent. She helped so many people. She was philosophical, but not just that. What an incredible songwriter. I mean, you're talking about a woman who just pushed through all the boundaries. And, people looked at her and they were like, you're blonde. And she was like, I'm not even blonde, you're stupid. And she said, well, if you think I'm blonde, you might think I'm stupid as well, but that's not the case. She absolutely had a real self sort of awareness there. She never got carried away with her own hype. And the fact that she led, even up to her death there, such a dignified illness. She didn't go on and bleat on about it. She did share some information with her fans and with people who loved her, saying, she was a bit rocky since Carl passed away, her husband, and she'd had some health issues with kidney stones and things. But she was like, but the doctors say it's treatable. So there was always optimism with Dolly. She was never looking for sympathy. And I just honestly, my heart goes out to everybody that's been affected by her death because I know I have been, and I thank the PR. I know he's suffering today and will do for a long time because he and his family became close friends of hers as well. And she was like a mother to many people, and she was like an aunt or sister.
Dolly
She was just
Parton leaves,
wonderful.
Bev, she leaves behind a legacy of 3,000 songs, and the good works that she did will live on long past. But in terms of her personality and in terms of the confidence that she had and the inspiration that she was, what do you take from that, from the person that Dolly Parton was underneath all the artifice, the real Dolly Parton?
Well, I would always ask myself, what would Dolly do? And I think that's it.
Okay.
If you can lead your life by her, I think you'll find it hard to find people that don't like Dolly. She was just everything to everyone, but she was real. And it's so funny because I know that, she said that everything about her was not real, but actually she was so real. And that's what I take away. And I just think I'll be listening to her songs, I'll be singing her songs. She just spread love everywhere. So love you, Dolly.